Are you serious? Are you serious? Guys, I want to take a look at some things. I want to thank you for being a partner and a member of my Patreon channel. Thank you so much. You're making a difference in us sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ around the world, all right, especially in these last days. Well, Petra, this is an amazing place, one that I haven't visited yet in Jordan, but I plan on it. Petra, the hidden city with cliff-carved monuments, is spectacular to anyone and everyone that ever goes there. Matter of fact, the first glimpse is so breathtaking, visitors to Petra walk through a steep, nearly mile-long gorge decorated with larger-than-life carvings until they get to a dark, 10-foot wide split in the sandstone that reveals the most elaborate ruin in the fantastic city of rock. It's known as the Treasury because early Bedouins thought it held riches. It's one of the most incredible monuments of the ancient world. The towering facade of this first century AD mausoleum, a dramatic mashed up of Greek Corinthian columns and Egyptian goddess woman warriors, winged victories, and half a dozen Amazons with axes. And get this isn't so much carved into the sandstone, but it burst out of the walls. It's unbelievable. Tucked deep in the desert canyons of southern Jordan, Petra has settled as early as 9,000 BC, if you can follow that logic, and grew into a trading center for the nomadic Arabs called the Nabateans, who also built huge block-shaped tombs known as Djinn blocks, which take their name from the spirits of the Arabic folklore. About 2,000 years ago, Petra had a peak population of about 30,000 people lived there, sustained in the dry months by an advanced water system of pipes, canals, and cisterns. For a short time under Roman rule, after 106 AD, Petra became even grandeur until Palmyra in modern-day Syria siphoned the trade away from them, and an earthquake devastated the city of Petra. But Petra was forgotten to outsiders until its rediscovery in the 19th century adventurers. Now one of the 7 new wonders of the world, Petra draws so many visitors, about 800,000 people just in 2018, despite political instability in the region, that its famous ruins are at risk of destruction. Tourists who touch or lean on the ancient walls, combined with human foot traffic and the hard hooves of donkeys and camels, are accelerating the natural erosion of the sandstones. But still, it's a magnificent location. Now, the biblical ramification of Petra. When in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, you have to understand Petra is located just over the border into Jordan. And when you start looking at in the last days, after the abomination of desolation, after the temple has been built in Jerusalem, and after many people had already come there to worship the Lord, and then the Antichrist comes in and tries to steal the show at the 3.5-year mark of that agreement, the Bible says that there will be this event, Matthew 24:15. And when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth let him understand. Of course, Daniel talks about that in Daniel 9:27. And verse 16 says, then, right after this happens, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Now, it is believed by many theologians and many Bible eschatology teachers that this is the time that the Jews living in Judea and Samaria over in the West Bank will have to literally run for their lives to flee another Holocaust. But as they run, as they flee, they will encounter, or they will be have to run through the Jordanian Valley into Petra, where they will find refuge there. Now, having said that, it's an amazing thing in today's time we're living in that Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to go ahead and officially annex all of the Jordanian Valley, although he already owns it. I mean, Israel already owns the Jordanian Valley. But I think he wants to officially go on record that this is off limits and will be the sovereign territory, certainly forever, for Israel. And I believe that this will happen. Even Benjamin Netanyahu or his competitor in this past election, Benny Gantz, both said they would do it. So look for that to happen very, very soon. And also, there's almost 1 million Jews living in Judea and Samaria. And so the coming agreements that's going to be signed, the covenant with many, apparently is going to include Jews remaining living in the West Bank, which means when this abomination of desolation happens, they're going to have to flee. And where they're going to go? They're going to go to Petra. You study it, there's no other place they could go. That's where they're going to run. So we're watching all of this come to pass in biblical prophecy. And I want to take the time to share with you this seventh wonder of the world, Petra, the hidden city with cliff-carved monuments in the side of the sandstone rocks in Jordan, and a biblical refuge for the Jews in the last days. And if you want to know where America plays a role in that, you then go to book of Revelation chapter 12. That's where the woman's being persecuted, which is what Jesus said is going to happen here in Matthew 24. And it's during that persecution that the woman has to flee to the wilderness, and she's being pursued by the dragon who wants to kill the man-child, wants to kill the realization, the dream, the understanding of soon the revelation of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Son of the living God. Now, they will flee into Petra. And so who is going to fly along with the woman to protect her? Well, it's going to be the wings of the eagle from Daniel 7, the United States of America, that broke away from the lion, Great Britain, and turned into a man and stood upon his feet with the wings of an eagle. It is that kingdom who does not go with the beast kingdom, and you can read that for yourself in Revelation 13, but instead in Revelation 12, why he's not mentioned in the beast kingdom of Revelation 13, it's because in Revelation 12, the eagle with the face of a man will fly and protect the woman as she flees into the wilderness, into Petra. Wow, we're living in the last days. Thank you for being a member of my Patreon channel. Tell others about it. And thank you. May God bless you. Are you serious? We're in the last days.